Okay. Alright, let's play some music. I'll be back. I'll be back. welcome back. Okay, let me open the live real quick. Hello. Hey, what's up, Lionel? Hi, Lynn. Let's go. I know. I'm not as enthusiastic about about this thing. The price went down today, you guys. You better sell. No, I'm just kidding. As you guys could see here, I was just trying to find a pattern. I mean, how low can they drop this thing? Not to say that I'm worried about anything, but sorry, I'm a bit kind of scatterbrained today. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing today? Oh my god, I can't. All right, so today I'm gonna stay about an hour or so, and if you have that much time, let's go. Yeah, so as I was saying, this is obviously is GameStop. I was trying to find a pattern down here as to how is there any pattern at all. Of course there's none, right? They could do whatever they want with this stock, it seems like, but I just feel like there must be a pattern right here, so they might even drop it down, but how low can they go? You see what I mean? So the lowest is like right down here, but anyway, so that's just me trying to tinker with the stock right there. But anyway, so let's get to the show. Welcome. Appreciate all of you guys being here. Now, so the level that I'm looking at, just like yesterday, I feel like they're gonna they are going to want to bring it down to 12, right? That's the level I'm looking at, and of course if they break through that level, it's gonna come down even a little bit further. Now the reason why I have this one in the midline here is because of the last support right here. We don't have much support there, so that's $10.57. Not saying that it's gonna come down here, but if worse come to worse, it can. And then the next level is gonna be $8. Okay. Now we all know what is going on with this stock. I'm not worried that it's gonna come down further, but with that being said, I'm being cautious, right? I'm not getting my hopes up here, or my hope is not up or down. It's just numb to this type of price drop, right? Again, there's no news whatsoever about this particular company panicking or anything like that. It's none whatsoever. So there's no reason why the fundamental of the company, if you listen to the yesterday live stream, I bring Peter Lynch up, right? And he's, a very successful investor. And the way that he and Warren Buffett invest, it's kind of overlap, right? Of course, Peter Lynch said that really the stock doesn't know that you own it. So you need to know about the company. And so we know about the company. GameStop is doing well, right? From last earning until now, nothing changed. In fact, the fundamental is stronger than ever, right? Lionel, let it go. Let it go to $5. Yes. But anyway, so what I'm again, I'm just prepping mentally to $12 per share versus $10 per share and then $8 per share. So mentally, I'm right there, right? But as far as like the indicator, I was kind of look at that as well. You see this yellow dot right here? I think that's when it's supposed to run, right? Because I see those yellow dot before, right here, right before the run. So somehow when you see this kind of forming, like even before the run over here as well. So the reason why I have it marked over here is this is when Ryan Cohen kind of got involved right there. Okay, so he got GameStop at this price, around $2, $3, $4 per share, and he bought like 10% of the company. So that's when he got involved. But even before he got involved, you know, you see all this right here, yellow indicator or yellow candle. It's indicative of a next run, right? But again, like it's not a for sure thing, obviously. Now, whether that is indicative of overbought, that's also another indicator as well. So if you look right here, well, no, overbought is up here, you guys. So it should have been a rocket up right at this price point right there, but they were able to smack it down. That's why I was looking at it and was like, this is kind of like the way that they manipulate it, right? Anytime there's momentum in this particular candle, they would cut it down, right? Pretty substantially. You see this candle right here? And this is a weekly candle, by the way, right there. Every single time that you reach the potential of it running, they would cut it down. Look at this one as well. Right? So it's trading based on algorithm, right? It's just the price between two people agreeing what to buy, what to sell. Perhaps some retail investor did sell, but not the majority. You know, it's only 1% of retail is actually trading this company, you know. But, you know, the reason why I know that is because of the volume each week. Again, this is a weekly candle, you guys. So in a week, right now, it's only been 3 days of trading. 11 million shares. Okay, what is 11 million shares? 11 divided by 300 something. So that's 3%. So every week, 3%. What is the other last week? Last week was 13 million shares being traded. And then the week before that is 20 million shares. So yeah. If you compare day to day, though, it's only 1%. So that's why I'm telling you. That's why I come to the conclusion that no retail has been selling this particular stock at all, right? But if you compare that with another stock, that is usually synonymous with GameStop, right here, boom, this is AMC. Now, this is after the stock split, obviously. This is a weekly candle. Every week, 49 million shares. This is after the reverse stock split and everything, right? So that's 50% of their float right now, right? Don't quote me on this. It's probably more like 30% of the float right there. But again, this is a weekly. So if you look at the daily candle, it's substantially higher than GameStop. See, 14 million today. The day before is 18 million. this is 84 million shares being traded back and forth on this date right here with the largest candle. So what I'm trying to show you is that now 84 million shares right at this second right here that I pointed out. This is actually more than 50% traded back and forth. So is that indicative of much more people are willing to exchange this stock for money? Right? It just means that there's high volume of interaction here. Now, who owns this stock the most? It's retail, right? Not saying that this company is not being manipulated, obviously, but the insider are in on it, right? We know about Adam Aaron and all that stuff. So, hey, again, it's my opinion. Kind of backed up by facts as well. Anyway, I digress. Let's go back to GameStop. Now, today, sorry, let's see. Sorry, my internet is kind of slow. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see. It's not doing much. I was going to show you something amazing. All right. Kind of low energy today. I'm sorry, you guys. But, so I was looking, of course, yesterday was a good run, right? But now it's almost like they're trying to cut down the momentum again. How low can they cut it down? Of course, they're going to try to do their best to make this company the worst company to own for now, right? And I mean, I haven't seen anything negative. Well, I mean, of course, that's an understatement, overstatement. Sorry. Of course, it's every day, right? You see a lot of documentary out there and a lot of YouTubers that has millions of subscribers all of a sudden talk about GameStop. All of that stuff, you kind of know why they do the things that they do, telling you, remember the Illuminati? Okay, hold on, let me see. I think you guys probably saw this already. I'm going to try to, hold on. But anyway, I'll do that later, okay? If we have time, okay? Let's get serious for a minute, okay? So, one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is the juxtapose between how the media cover GameStop and Nvidia, okay? Nvidia is a company that is, chip manufacturing company. They make graphics card and all that stuff. Now, what I've noticed as well is that because Bitcoin is surging, I think that these type of stocks going to do well. Not to say that you should be buying this at all. This is why I'm telling you this. But crypto is going to run for a little while. Because, number one, we knew that the Fed was not going to raise any rate, at least for 2 months that we know of, okay? And it seems like when Jerome Powell speak today, the market was enthusiastic about it, okay? Meaning that they think the Fed's going to pause the rate for now, and 5.5% is going to be the rate until next year. So we have 2 months of no news from the Fed, which gives the market hope, okay? And one of the things that give the market hope is crypto. Young people are enthusiastic about cryptocurrency. So of course, with this, now I know it has nothing to do with that, most of that. The Fed doesn't really move the market unless they do something aggressive, hiking the rate up or keep rates low for decades on end. So those decisions does affect the market in the long run, but it really doesn't affect Bitcoin per se. Bitcoin, like one Bitcoin will always be one Bitcoin. You cannot dilute it. At least that's what we've been told, right? And so because BlackRock is now kind of dipping their toe in, I bet you anything they've been accumulating like since FTX or even before that. So don't even, I bet you this is how I feel. When Bill Hinman, so Bill Hinman was what, about 4 or 5 years ago? Bill Hinman. This guy. So when was he serve SEC director? I think that's what he. Now he served the SEC back in 2017. So I bet you anything, BlackRock was involved in cryptocurrency back then. I don't know how much they were able to accumulate. I get it. But before that, it was all retail. Now, for the small amount of retail who understand this, they hold Bitcoin, right? I wish I had whole Bitcoin. I have one whole Bitcoin. But, I understand that there are other technology that is better than Bitcoin. That's just my opinion. Obviously, I have a small amount of Bitcoin, not very much. I have more XRP just for full transparency. I have some XLM. I have some Loopring, because I believe in the network. I have some, let me see. I have a few other coins. Oh, Flare Network. I don't know if you know anything about Flare Network, but it's kind of a spin-off from XRP on the Ethereum network. They're trying to bridge the two network together. So that's what Flare is all about. And then they have Songbird and all that stuff. So I got some free Flare. I didn't buy it. Just free because I was holding XRP at the time. So, those are just some of the few coins that I have already. Because, again, I believe in this industry for the long run. And I'm telling myself right now, that I'm going to hold everything for at least 10 years, right? Because, again, I've learned my lesson, right? Because had I, held more Bitcoin then, adding more and more, I would have been fine by now, right? But again, you have a scatterbrain. You think that this price action day to day is this it. Better sell now or you won't see your money back, right? So let's go to the media and how they cover those things, okay? So I was on X and I saw a video about this company. But before I show you that one, let me show you CNBC coverage of this stock. Nvidia, okay? And so it's about 5 minutes. I will be right back.
Biggest Nvidia bulls. Ben Reitzes is the head of technology research at Melius Research. His new note is titled, "Dare We Say Nvidia is Now Cheap?" Yeah. Ben, welcome. Dare we say? Nice to phrase it that way, because a lot of people would argue with that, but yet you argue that it is when you take a look at the multiple based on calendar year 24 earnings, and when you compare it on EV to EBITDA basis or EV to sales basis even, to a Microsoft, to an Apple, and et cetera.
Yeah, well, when you adjust for growth, there's outsized growth here. We're looking for 40+% growth in sales and EPS, and that's probably really conservative. So right now it's trading at about 29 times next year's number. It could be a bargain. And their TAM is growing really fast too, and those numbers look really conservative.
So why is their total addressable market growing so quickly? It's just the sell-through of the AI chip specifically makes the total addressable market much bigger?
Well, I don't know. It depends how you want to look at it. The cloud giants are spending like crazy in this market. And Google just had an event this week, and they announced an expanded partnership with Nvidia. And it looks like they're going to be spending a ton on the H100 super chips, which have a huge margin and huge ASP. And Nvidia is the Intel inside for AI, to borrow a pun from many years ago. And you need Nvidia to serve customers, to serve AI, and the clouds are rushing to do it. And then it's giving rise to a whole new GPU as a service, CoreWeaves, Lambda Labs, all these second-tier GPU as a service firms as well. So there's a lot of spending, and we are yet to see whether the apps all come and the enterprise adoption comes, but the spending cycle is going to last well into next year, probably through next year.
So the bears will say that there could be over-ordering, that there's a lot of pull forward of this. And you actually make the point that they're trying to build a more durable stream of revenues, that they are looking to create this sort of ecosystem. Can you explain that? Because I feel like that is, the notion that it's a one-off, it'll sell its chip and it's done, is the pillar of the bear case at this point.
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked this question. Every once in a while, a special company comes along that's a platform. This is one of them. So there was Apple, there was Microsoft. But every once in a while, one of these comes along. It's very rare. And Nvidia is probably the only company in semis that has the power to do this, to really be an end-to-end full-stack platform. What happens when you're successful doing that is you will generate an outsized proportion of the profits for that industry. And it's more durable than people think. Just look at Apple. A lot of people thought Apple would be cyclical. The multiple got really low. And obviously now it has almost a 30 PE. This company is probably one of those special companies. They're getting into software, cloud services, and they're generating a ton of cash now, so they're going to buy back stock, potentially like Apple can.
Can AMD not?
There's a lot of shakiness about this guy when he talks about Nvidia, and also there's a lot of words that says potential. He's always saying there's a potential. Just so you know. But anyway, let's go back.
Do that?
Not yet. No, they don't have the software moat. 15 to 20 years ago, Nvidia made decisions around software that no one can touch. These were decisions made, decades ago. You can't just get into the market with a ported code. And this is, there's emulation. There's certain things that happen that developers take very seriously. And they're trained and they're used to NVIDIA, and they want to use it in the clouds, and they want to use it for AI apps. You can't really just go in and take a big share. What likely does happen is that 80-20 rule, 90-10 rule, where there could be a second player, but I don't see their share, going below a dominant level. And I see them leading this market and enabling it, frankly.
What kind of reception did you get to this call today?
Well, some people, I mean, look, you definitely got a lot of eyeballs on it.
On the ride home, or are you good?
I don't need security on the ride home. I mean, look, it wasn't that hard of a note to write because the numbers are the numbers. I just pointed it out. I would say that some folks are like, whoa, there's a digestion period going on right now, and sometimes it's just good to look at the obvious. We had a big run into the call, and a lot of folks were like, well, is there double ordering? Is there this? Is there that? And people got concerned about that kind of stuff. Is supply meeting demand? And then sometimes you just have to take a step back. And you have to say, are we being compensated for the growth? And look, management is going to be on the road at a lot of conferences. There's a lot of positive news flow to come. I think they're going to do a great job of explaining their moat, the end demand, and how they are creating a platform. And when you look at the growth, you'll go, yeah, I'll take a stab at that. Because it is cheaper now, but the fun is the revisions are so robust that you got to keep up with it.
So this video was, hold on one second. One second. So this video was published, let's see, on August 30th, okay, August 30th of this year, okay. Now, of course, this guy, I just have a feeling they're trying to pump it to you. No, they're trying to pumping it to you. He is saying that Nvidia is cheap at this price point, right? And I disagree. I totally disagree with this analyst. Why? Here's why. Okay, so this is when the price of Nvidia, right there, that's when they were talking about it. He is saying that it's cheap to buy it here. Always at the top, right? And now, I'm not saying you can't make money on Nvidia. Not what I'm saying at all. Perhaps it could go to 600. But if it goes to 600, do you know how much market cap that is? Right now, market cap, $1 trillion. For you to 10x your money, Nvidia would have to go to $10 trillion, okay? That's one. Number two, the reason why they pump it to you is because institutional ownership is high, very high. It used to be a little bit higher, so that means they've been dumping, okay? I wish I had the video. I'm going to go back on my older video covering Nvidia. But I bet you anything, the institutional ownership was higher then. So, and then on top of that, and let me see. Now, I get it. They have good profit margin, like very healthy, very, monopolistic, right? I don't see Illuminati talking about this particular company, right? Why GameStop? And to say that GameStop, remember she was saying that GameStop was a monopoly, like ripping off children and stuff. Well, this company is ripping off adults, okay? Is that better? Is it a better run company because they ripped adult off? Look at this. Profit margin, 31%. I mean, to say, and of course, look, growth profit margin, 64%. So that means they could price gouge you at anything. Now, you might say, oh, hey, they have the best product in the world. Okay, but really? 30% on top of what they, man. But anyway, I know if you're a big fan of Nvidia, if you own Nvidia before the run, you probably want to cash out right now, right? Now, I have a friend who thinks that 400 a share is actually cheap. So he's been buying in, but hey, I told him it's overvalued already, but if you don't want to believe me, that's on you. But anyway, so this is the time at that day right there is when the video showed up. Okay, one of the things that I want to point out too, though, because Nvidia is related to cryptocurrency, and the best one is, of course, Bitcoin for now, obviously, because it's kind of run a little bit like usually Bitcoin run first, then altcoin, right? So this cycle is going to be the same thing. I bet you anything, the run is because of some news, right? I think DRS Jimmy said that Invesco Galaxy, Bitcoin ETF showed up on the DTCC ETF list today, and also a CUSP. So, DRSGME, could you please tell me if it's already approved or it's just on the desk or on the list, waiting for approval? Because I'm kind of skeptical about that, honestly. Like, that news has always been around. Even the last cycle, when Bitcoin was before here, they were talking about the same thing, about how, Bitcoin ETF's coming, it's going to be, approved and all that stuff. But 4 years later, we're still talking about the same thing, And even over here, too, there's always a talk about it. Remember when Bill Hinman, that's another thing, too. So Bill Hinman was around here, and I bet you anything, he gave Bitcoin the green light. Bitcoin and Ethereum, the green light, to be that it's not a security. and there's no further regulation, step to take. And so they were talking about Bitcoin ETF then. Buy button was removed. Wait, buy button removal. I'm sorry. Never enough. They still have to short GameStop. 65%. Yeah. Every trading day, combining dark pool. Yes, dark pooling majority of buying. Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. Ever since the buy button was removed, they have to. At this point, they have to do that for their survival, right? But the masses are not going to know that. By the time they know it, it's already going to be too late for them already, Jason. I appreciate that. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And that's why, they always like being negative as much as they can. And then when the run, I bet you the second run is going to come after Bitcoin right here, right? Because young people, when they when they trade Bitcoin and they have any profit, I bet you they're gonna try to jump into GameStop as well. But anyway, so let's go back to Nvidia. So I think this pop right here, obviously it's Fed is going to pause. People are enthusiastic about it, but I think it's kind of mimic Bitcoin run right here. That's Nvidia, because again, it's related to chip, right? That mine Bitcoin. I forgot what it's specifically called, but they are a special chip that Nvidia made in order for them to, mine cryptocurrency, and especially Bitcoin, right? Because the memory is required to kind of gain an edge in the market, because the more powerful your computer is, the more block you could, the more Bitcoin you could make from mining it, okay? Meaning like confirmed transaction from one block to another. So that's the whole idea. But anyway, so let me go back to the reason why I'm skeptical. When the news tell you something, you better be skeptical, especially CNBC, right? They're notorious for like telling you to do the wrong thing at the right time, right? So this guy have made a lot of Nvidia video. So this one in particular I have not seen completely. I've seen partial. So let's listen in together and I'll be right back.
Just when you thought the AI mania fad was finally starting to dissipate, the darling of the financial press, Nvidia, was back in the news today. This time they sold $500 million worth of their much coveted GPUs. And this time they sold them to a charity. Now you might be saying to yourself, Jack, surely this isn't just another case of channel stuffing. Surely a company as big as Nvidia would never do anything that isn't above board. Surely there's nothing to see here. Well, Nvidia has a long history of fraud going all the way back to the early 2000s, and so it's worth taking a look at this deal. And don't call me Shirley. What's up, guys? I'm Nobody Special, and here we go in Reuters. This one hit the tape just a few hours ago. Crypto billionaire's nonprofit buys $500 million of AI data center chips. A nonprofit organization funded by cryptocurrency billionaire Jed McCaleb bought roughly $500 million worth of Nvidia's advanced chips and plans to lease computing capacity to companies for artificial intelligence projects. The AI cloud computing organization called Voltage Park has 24,000 Nvidia H100 chips, Voltage Park CEO Eric Park told Reuters in an interview. The operation plans to offer long and short-term, low-cost AI computing to help alleviate the shortage of AI chips. And isn't that wonderful of them? They're just trying to help out. They're trying to alleviate the shortage of AI chips by buying up $500 million worth of those hard-to-come-by H100 chips. San Mateo, California-based Voltage Park is a wholly owned subsidiary of McCaleb's nonprofit Navigation Fund. Any profit Voltage earns will be sent to Navigation. McCaleb does not operate or sit on the board of either the nonprofit or Voltage. And this is billionaire Jed McCaleb. Now, if you don't already know who Jed McCaleb is, he's famous for a number of reasons. He founded Mt. Gox, the now defunct Bitcoin exchange. It used to be the biggest crypto exchange in the world. That is before it got hacked and 850,000 Bitcoin was stolen. Now, that was years ago, but that Bitcoin that was stolen would today be worth about $29 billion. It's worth pointing out that that hack and that controversy happened after McCaleb had already left the company. McCaleb is also famous for being one of the founders of XRP, something that made him insanely wealthy. He made billions of dollars in XRP by granting himself millions of the tokens that he has been dumping on retail investors for years to the tune of several $billion. And more recently, he founded Stellar Labs and the not quite as famous Stellar Lumens cryptocurrency. And that's another crypto that has had no shortage of controversy over the years. So this guy has gotten awfully rich on a lot of projects that have caused a lot of problems for a lot of other people, but Jed McCaleb has done pretty well for himself. Well, now Jed McCaleb is a big advocate of effective altruism. You know, that other famous crypto billionaire, Sam Bankman-Fried, he was a big fan of that. Oh, I'm a billionaire, I want to give away all my money. Well, it looks like the Navigation Fund is one of his nonprofit organizations, and this nonprofit organization is buying $500 million worth of Nvidia's GPUs. So you know.
So hold that thought for a minute, okay? So of course there's a lot of information here. Now, because it's XRP and XLM and all that stuff, right? When he said that he was rewarding himself a whole bunch of token, the history of the token is a little bit muddled, obviously. Yes, the founder was, well, when XRP was created, obviously XRP has, a different mechanism, right? And the way that they want to solve Bitcoin, they saw that Bitcoin had some problem to solve, because if people were to congest the network on the Bitcoin network and it's going to be world reserve currency, it has to be faster. And they see the problem with Bitcoin as a, you know, proof of work. I'm not saying it doesn't work. Of course, it's more secure and it's provide an incentive for people to keep the network secure. That's why proof of work in that sense, and it should be anonymous, right? But XRP, you know, founder, the Jed McCaleb and the other guy, Chris Larson, I think that's the one that was still at the board of Ripple, right? The company Ripple. And both of them had some disagreement on what the direction of XRP is. And again, this is a backstory that is kind of like long and drawn out. But real quick though, the way that XRP itself was distributed, because at the genesis of XRP, the token was already created. Every single token that was created was already created. So all it is just they need to reallocate those tokens. Now, when it was created, nobody wants to test it out, and they would just give, you know, themselves, you know, because at that time it was worth $0, right? Nobody would want to use it because they were dubbed as a banker's coin, right? Oh, it's a fraudulent and all that stuff, right? But these founder, they were just trying to, you know, create tokenomic by just giving people free XRP, but people didn't want to kind of hold it. It was only a small handful of people who, you know, wanted a free coin, so they got some free XRP. Now, I'm not one of them, obviously. I wasn't one of the earlier one, but back then you could like watch an ads and then you get a free XRP or something like that, or tons of free XRP. And tons of people were, you know, making a lot of money when XRP run to, I think it was 3 cents. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, down here. So for XRP to become what it is today, see that little blip right here, 5 cents? Back then, they were trying to give everybody including themselves, right? Token in order to kind of test out the network. The same way with Bitcoin, obviously. Bitcoin used to be, you used to be able to mine Bitcoin, 50 Bitcoin a day on your freaking laptop. Okay, so that's the whole point of the evolution of what Bitcoin is that small and not investor even, that's just small nerd who, just want to kind of exchange value over the internet. It was new technology that people will want to, so that's the evolution of Bitcoin here. The same way with XRP, it's just that the mechanism that they use to create those coin, it's not the same as Bitcoin. This is why they are able to just, debit themselves, okay, those massive amount of token. And yes, Jeb McCaleb did dump a whole bunch that he has, but he had an agreement when he split from XRP to make Stellar. He wanted to do something else because, again, the storyline is that he did not like the direction of XRP, how they are doing business. He just disagreed with the Chris Larson at the time, right? So they split off, but the agreement is to sell a portion, like every year he had a limit on how much he could sell to the market and all that stuff. Don't quote me on this. I think he sold most of it around this time right here. And again, he had millions, billions of token at the time because, again, nobody was willing to use this network until it was like, oh, it's faster than Bitcoin. And there's an army for a reason here. If you search XRP army, you see a lot of them, right? Because they were the early adopter of XRP. They just feel like Bitcoin was, just too massive, too slow. If you want to be a world reserve currency or world reserve anything, you have to be able to transfer, hundreds of millions per second, right? Because again, people are going to want to use it. So you can't muddle up the network, because the more people use it, the more expensive it's going to be in terms of facilitating those blocks, right? Using energy and all that stuff. In theory, obviously. Because again, there's an economic, there'll be like more powerful chip gonna have to be made in order to transfer one fund to another, right? But XRP, you could do that with just debiting or crediting ledger that you have in your wallet, so to speak. But anyway, so that's also the early thing, but I hope I don't lose anybody already. But anyway, so that's what I have here, and then let's continue.
No, I just had to start digging into this outfit. Here is the Navigation Fund's website. This nonprofit was just launched in 2023, so there is virtually nothing available out there in the ether about whatever it is these guys are doing or what they're up to. Now, on their website, they say they're advancing bold solutions to the world's most urgent problems. And what are the world's most urgent problems? Well, you might be thinking the world's most urgent problems are things like the outbreak of World War III, the imminent collapse of the global financial system, polarization of society, the normalization of political violence in democracies. No, those are B-lister problems. These guys are taking on the real issues like safe AI and farm animal welfare, criminal justice reform, open science, whatever that is, and of course, climate change. You read through this website and it looks more like an SJW wish list. The guy that runs this outfit is this big animal rights advocate. He's a vegan. He wants everybody else in the world to be a vegan. No thanks, hard pass. I like my steak. But why are these guys who think the biggest problem in the world is farm animal welfare buying $500 million worth of Nvidia GPUs? Well, remember the GPUs are actually being bought by the Navigation Fund's wholly owned subsidiary named Voltage Park. And here's Voltage Park's website. We build infrastructure for machine learning. It's kind of like your generic AI website these days. doesn't really seem like there's anything special, not special about it. But I dug in a little bit to this company. They're talking about the Nvidia chips, but it's when you scroll down and you get to the Our Customers section, and it didn't take long before I had that aha moment. I want to focus your attention all the way over there. One of the 3 customers shown on their website for Voltage Park is a company called Imbue. And now this is starting to read like an Nvidia story. AI startup Imbue tops $1 billion valuation after funding from who? Nvidia. And how do you like that, guys? It turns out this customer who is renting these Nvidia chips from Voltage Park, a nonprofit company who bought these chips from Nvidia, well, they got their money from Nvidia.
So I hope you catch that, right? So go back to Nvidia. I know there's so many, company around here, around this one story. But so Nvidia obviously gains a lot of notoriety, and people are telling you that this is a cheap company, and they're ordering, they're making tons of money, $11 billion last quarter, right? And they were enthusiastic about it. Now, that $11 billion, 10% of it was pre-ordered, or they call it the deferred asset or something like that. It was orders that is being placed but not fulfilled yet, and they even tell you in the balance sheet. So what does that mean? It means that those orders could be canceled at any time, but they still count it as a revenue for the stock, and that stock, the stock went up substantially after that earning. Hold on. I think this is the one right here, this earning, right? And it's kind of suspect, right? When they do stuff like that. Now, imagine if GameStop were to do that. You think the media would be like, "Oh my God, this is the cheapest thing ever." So this one, obviously, they did a beat, right? And this is another thing, too. The analysts out there, when they do this estimate, earning, and all that stuff, and I told you guys this before, and I truly feel this. Whenever they want to push any company to you, they could lower their expectation. So that number, the company would have no problem beating, like post a number that is higher than the actual estimate. So that's how they would want to pump it to you, right? Meaning that they will lower the bar so that the company would beat it when they want to push that stock to you, right? And you see like the estimate right here, $6 billion, $5 billion. Like they always do it so that it's lower than the actual report, right? Right here. Revenue is more important than the earnings sometimes, because again, top line revenue is their favorite thing to talk about when it comes to GameStop, right? And so, those type of things could be manipulated too. In terms of the analysts out there giving Nvidia a low bar to beat. So that's one way to manipulate the stock, right? Imagine if for GameStop, if you look at their estimate right here, right? I bet you anything, this is an overestimate, right? I thought, when they cover GameStop, right, these analysts, they tell you, oh, GameStop don't make any money. They don't make money. But why are you estimating the revenue to be $1 billion per quarter? If they don't make any money, wouldn't you want to estimate at a lower bracket or whatever, right? That's just my opinion here. I don't know if anybody catch that, but that is insanity to me, right? And the fact that people don't realize that, it's even mind-boggling to me as well. What else? So this one is, of course, wait, so this is quarter 2, quarter 1. Okay. So back in quarter 1, watch, look at this. Like first quarter, sorry. The first quarter, they were overestimating, right? So of course, GameStop post a lower price because they estimated too high. They gave GameStop an impossible, estimate in order to post a miss, 7%, 8% miss, right? And what happened? What happened? Look, the stock went from 26 to down to 20. And what happened? Ryan Cohen bought in. It's like, this is BS, right? So I think this is why he bought in, because like, hey, what are you talking about? My company is much more valuable than what you are saying. And if you're saying that we don't make money, why are you estimating so high for quarter 1? You see what I mean? It's like these people, they don't think that we know that. And look, even this high estimation, GameStop still come roaring, right? And every step of the way, obviously, look, we beat 200% there on earnings. Okay, what's the other one? 6% on earnings right here. The last earnings, 78% on earnings beats. So I don't know, like these analysts kind of bothers me sometimes, but of course they have to do what they do in order to manipulate GameStop. Okay, Jason, I'm certain that after all these years of shorting every single day, GameStop true short interest is in several hundreds of percent to in the thousands. I have absolutely zero doubt, guys. That's true. Actually support company through products in store, brick you type brick and mortar or e-commerce. Actually support the real company cannot be fraudulently suppressed like the stock. True. I totally agree with you. Yes, you are preaching to the choir here, okay? All right, let's continue. So, man, I didn't even finish my point here. I'm telling you guys, I'm scatterbrained here. So Nvidia, of course, with all of the darling things that they're telling you to buy, it's a cheap company, it's being manipulated. All of those earnings was being propped up by this shenanigans right here, right? Not only that they were reporting on pre-order stuff and still put it on the book as if they already complete the order. That's one. Now they're doing stuff like this, and this is like recent, to where they were telling a startup company, that Nvidia helped fund to order the chip from Nvidia. A conflict of interest, no? And how is this legal for a company to do this? Like, you use money to start up a company, AI company, but yet that company has to buy your product. How does that make any sense? And how is that the SEC is not probing this company? But GameStop, Brian Cohen, because he bought some Bed Bath & Beyond share and then sold it because he doesn't believe in the company anymore, he become more probable. But this is not, like, come on. Anyway, let's continue.
This is starting to sound an awful lot like that CoreWeave story, isn't it? Imbue, a startup building large language models to power artificial intelligence tools, has raised $200 million from investors, including Nvidia Corp, at a valuation of more than $1 billion. But wait, it gets even better. Check out the first sentence of that next paragraph. Astera Institute, a nonprofit founded by cryptocurrency billionaire Jed McCaleb, led the funding round. That's right, folks. That's the same Jed McCaleb who founded that other nonprofit group, the Navigation Fund, which owns Voltage Park, which bought the chips from Nvidia in the first place. Well, it's the same guy funding both the acquisition of the chips and the company that is renting the chips right along with Nvidia. So just to help you guys take the walk with me here, we've got Nvidia and we've got this Astera Institute, Jed McCaleb's other nonprofit group. And they both give $200 million combined to this company called Imbue. Imbue is an AI company. What do? They need computing power, so they rent these Nvidia chips from the company called Voltage Park, who, of course, sourced those chips by buying them from Nvidia. So you've got this circular movement of money from Nvidia to Imbue to Voltage Park, right back to Nvidia. Oh, but you got to remember, guys, that Voltage Park is a wholly owned subsidiary of the nonprofit that was founded by Jed McCaleb, the same guy who founded the other nonprofit, the Astera Institute. So you've got Nvidia, a company with a documented history of fraud going all the way back to the early 2000s, a company with a history of giving money to their customers just so their customers can give the money right back to them to make it look like organic earnings growth. This billionaire and this company are getting together. They're funneling money through this Imbue company into this Voltage Park company. Round and round we go. It's just the circular accounting, the same money being moved in circles. Now, guys, there are other customers for Voltage Park, and I'm sure Imbue had other investors along the way, so dollar for dollar, this doesn't all line up. But this is just another example of the circular movement of cash to make it look like there is more demand for these Nvidia chips than there really is. So long story short, this is just another case of this seemingly explosive growth in the demand for these Nvidia chips. But when you go back far enough, eventually you find out that the source of the money that is paying for these chips is at least partially Nvidia themselves. And once again, the press just takes this story. They don't ask any questions. They don't do any due diligence. They just slap it up on the screen and make it seem like this explosive AI mania growth story is all legit, when 5 to 10 minutes of Googling is all it takes. And you can realize that these companies and these people involved and these organizations involved are not quite above board. Now, I don't know exactly what is going on with all of these nonprofits and these companies and this seemingly circular accounting. I can't even tell you whether or not it's legal or illegal. I'm not a prosecutor. I'm not a lawyer. But again, all it takes is a few minutes of looking and you can find out that the source of the demand for Nvidia's products in almost every single case is at least partially Nvidia themselves. Till next time, live small and dream big.
So where is the 2 hours documentary about this? But there's a 2 hours documentary.
Just when you thought the AI mania...
about GameStop? Come on. Like, this is like trillions of dollars industry here, okay? But they worry about a $4 billion market cap company? Come on. It's like, it's kind of like show the truth color about how, the media is always like have their favorites, right? And we all know this. I'm preaching to the choir here. Welcome everybody who just joining. So yeah, this guy is pretty brutal when it comes to, he had a lot of Nvidia. Nvidia video. So if you want to check him out, nobody's special here. So tons and tons of Nvidia one. So those are the scandal thing, and the media would never tell you that. But what did they tell you? They tell you this is a cheap price to buy. Of course, they want to paint Nvidia as that, meaning like more demand and all that stuff. But all of that demand is fake. All of that demand is through manipulation, not only through how they come up with this number right here, which is low enough for them to beat. And they knew, I bet you anything, they knew ahead of time what Nvidia was going to post, and they just lower the expectation or estimate for Nvidia to hit. So, and of course, the previous video that I showed you, when they showed the guys like, oh yeah, Nvidia is cheap to buy, this is the time to buy, you know, demand is gonna be high and all that stuff. It's BS. It's BS. And of course, where is that Illuminati lady, you know, talking about Nvidia doing stuff like this? It's like, man. Yeah, and of course, this guy, if you listen to his tone and, I think, okay, let's listen to this again. It was kind of telling to the point where she was asking him something, and then he was like, oh, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It depends.
So why is there
Next year's number. It could be a bargain. And their TAM is growing really fast, too. And those numbers look really conservative.
So why is their total addressable market growing so quickly? It's just the sell-through of the AI chip specifically makes the total addressable market much bigger?
Well, I don't know. It depends how you want to look at it. The cloud giants are spending like crazy in this market. And, you know, Google.
See, he was like about to say, oh, I don't know. But anyway, throughout the interview, of course, like you could see he's kind of nervous. Like, oh yeah, it's time to buy. Like, of course. But man, but if you look at the price to earning, it's 100 times it's earning, and they're telling you to buy this company. Man, if it's not irresponsible. Like, man, I bet you anything, all these newscaster people, let me see how they look at this guy. It's like, oh boy, we're about to manipulate people into buying something and hold the bag. So, of course, they don't worry about Nvidia investor buying at this price, right? They worry about Gamestop investor buying at this price, right? It's BS, right? Of course they worry about us owning this company at this price because it's the cheapest ever, right? It's cheap. Hold on, it's even cheaper than the highest price that it ever gone to, the all-time high before the run. So that was 2013. So 10 years ago, you get GameStop, you know, at this price 10 years ago. Okay. 10 years ago, all-time high was $14. So back in the glorious day, I would argue now they have a better leadership, right? Better growth, better everything, right? And on top of that, you have a fanatic investor that comes into this company, and they're not going to leave because we know the value of the company. So yeah, I mean, 10 years ago, how much just inflation alone, you know, is going to make this company valuable. So I think every time 10%, no, 10 years ago. Okay, let me do inflation calculation. Inflation calculator. How about that? Let's do this experiment. So I'm cutting close at an hour today. Let me see. Okay, so on average, 2013 right here, back then was the price of GameStop, right? So if it's the same price today, it should be at $19 right now. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that if it's So $13. Hold on. I want to know. $13. Okay, bear with me 1 second, okay? I'm trying to see what is $13 today versus then. Okay. Okay, we're getting close. Maybe we wanted $13. Boom. So it's like buying Gamestop at $10 today. I mean, are you serious? So let's say that's $10, right? So let's see. When was the last time GameStop had hit $10? Ooh. Let's see. So, oh, all-time high is up here. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm a failure. I can't even, forget about Ryan Cohen being a failure here. I'm a failure. I failed to see this one. The all-time high was $16, okay? So the last time when GameStop is around $10, right here, right there, $10. Boom. Right? So it's like buying GameStop at $10 if you buy it now. That's amazing. So $10 is down here. Okay, down here. So you get it at a cheap price. Back 10 years ago, actually, 10 years ago. Right here. So, better price point than it is now? I mean, come on. So, well, and then of course, like the Fed is trying to eliminate the, and I bet you anything, this inflation data, it's probably just reported. So it's probably even more, even lower. Meaning that you are actually buying GameStop. If you buy it today, you're actually spending $10 for GameStop 10 years ago, okay? So, and guess what too, you guys? This is less than a Big Mac, okay? How much is a Big Mac right now? I think I just saw a new Big Mac meal costs. Oh, okay, $8. I don't know why I see $18. Oh, maybe in San Diego. Okay, what is Big Mac costs? California, a Big Mac, just one sandwich, is $5.89. Sorry, you guys, I haven't been to McDonald's in a while, so I don't even know what it is. And hold on, San Diego. So breakfast deluxe, $11 right now. That sounds like a scam too. I feel like I spent a whole bunch. I went a couple months ago and literally I was spending $28. Now I bought some for my mom, but still. I mean, for a price of a Big Mac meal, which is $12, okay? $12. You could own one share of GameStop, okay? That could be the best decision of your life right here. Nah, I'm just playing with you guys. Obviously, we know what this company is going to go through. I'm excited about the earning, and yeah. So let me look at the chat real quick. Okay. No, not yours, not. Wait, what are you talking about, Lionel? GME, everything. Yes, yes, yes. I agree. I agree. But we have to be aware of what's going on as well. You know, yes, GME is great, but just prepare yourself to see prices drop. Okay, so real quick before I let you guys go, my price point is right here, $12. Okay, because again, historically it interacted with that level before, and if that one break, it's going to go down to $8. Not to say that if you're buying it every single day, it really doesn't matter, right? It's only for people who wants to have a lot of dry powder and wait for the drop. But let's be warned here, okay? You might not see that price. You might not. And then you're gonna, you know, you're gonna buy GameStop at a higher price. Yep. So, I mean, there's no secret here, okay? I bought GameStop up here. Not worry one bit. Because what's the difference between $40 and $4,000? Assuming GameStop's gonna go to that point. $4,000, I mean, that's doable. That means like it's 10x from here. Wait, hold on 1 second. Let me go back. Let me go back real quick. So I want to see what's the market cap of GameStop right now. What? Less than $4 billion. So let's say it's $4 billion, okay? So for GameStop to 10x from here, it's $40 billion company. I think it's doable, right? $40 billion. So how can they get to $40 billion, right? So if the whole gaming industry is around $200 billion, if they just capture 2% of that, well, let's say 5%, 200 billion, 5% of 200 is 10. So if they just capture 10 a year even, that's still substantial. And remember, they don't have any debt, so they could expand. They could scale as quickly as possible when it makes sense. Right now, it just doesn't make sense to scale. And I don't understand why people don't understand that. You know, these people. Well, actually, I do, right? Because they've paid to say what they say about GameStop. And of course, we know about Illuminati lady, right? That's it. Let me go to Moran's channel. Let's see. This lady right here. Right? She make video about...
What can I say?
About GameStop right here. So I'm not gonna play it because you already watch it in with Moran's. But where? You see what I mean? Hold on. What is my point here? Second. But yeah. So there's a lot of FUD coming in right before earnings as well, right? We have about a month or so. 1 month until GameStop earning. Hopefully come sooner, right? This is an estimate date. So we'll see. And there's a lot of negative news out there. These people are gross. Yes, I agree, Lynn. I agree with you. I wish they put like sponsored by, right? That would be a little bit more honest. But of course they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. You know, I could see a lot of industry that, I bet you anything if I look at her. Okay, PETA, whatever, right? What is this? Dark Secret, Hershey. Okay, she goes after a whole bunch of company. McDonald, okay. How about Amazon? Like, I don't see anything about Amazon. Do you? Let me see. Amazon. Oh, okay. This is 2 years ago. Corporate casket. Okay. Well, where is your recent video, lady, about Amazon? The sugar-free gummy bear. Change your life. Well, that has nothing to do with Amazon being monopoly. Ripping off people? No? How about ripping off postal delivery people? No? Anyway.
PETA. What can I say? I never get tired of talking about them. I've had so many episodes about PETA that they've blocked me on Twitter.
To join.
And yeah, that's right. They have in fact seen the episodes that I've made about them.
But anyway, you guys, I know there's a lot more of you guys coming in. Oh, hi, Marines. What's up? New video dropping. I know I'm actually on my way out. I've been here for a long time. Just babbling, Marines. Nothing much here. How are you doing, sir? Sir Marantz, how are you doing? But anyway, I was just looking at this lady here. I know you do a great job about this lady, like butchering her as much as you can. But I can't second that. But I was just like, where is the video about, other industry that is way monopolistic than GameStop could ever, right? And that's another thing too. It's like, if GameStop is a monopoly, why do they say then that GameStop doesn't make any money? You know what I mean? So isn't that like counterintuitive about, Oh, okay. I'm gonna check that out. Thank you, Marins. Connecting the dot. Wow. 2 video at the same time? Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, real quick. But I appreciate you joining in. But I'm on my way out, actually. I was gonna only be here for an hour, but I'm kind of getting tired. This live stream thing. I don't know how you do it, Moran. It's like 8 hours, 6 hours. I'm like, what? So I'm just running. I feel like I need more structure. Is there any pointer that you like? Any tips on how to stay on course, Marantz? I know there's a delay here, but yeah, so I mean, to me, Nvidia, real quick though, Nvidia is a good company. I'm not saying it's a terrible company, but to have it evaluate at 100 times its earning, it's too much. It's too much. And we know why the media is pushing it. It's because the institutional ownership, right? So, again. But GameStop, the reason why they shit on it, or they just pummeled it, is because retail own it. We own it. Look, institutional ownership. So, but anyway, I know we need to fix this as well, like the profit margin, but that's coming. That's coming. So, I'm very excited about the earnings for quarter 3. I think we just finished the quarter, right? September 30th. That's when October is the end of quarter 3. So today is officially quarter 4 earnings. So go shop at GameStop. Anyway, Because GME breaks the law of supply and demand. Ah, I see. So there's no real supply and demand there. It's just all fake. No wonder they all come out of the woodwork. Yeah. But I think, it's inevitable. No matter what they do, they can't hide the truth anymore. If you look at what's going on, with Israel and all that stuff, it seems like more and more people know the truth now. I hope anyway. And anytime people come on CNN and all that stuff, I just feel like it's all lies. Like, what are you doing? It's just to cause chaos in the world in order to distract people. And I bet you anything, it's probably due to, oh my God, I have this epiphany or whatever. What is the term? I just remember something because remember when Gamestop ran and immediately, like maybe 3 months later, hold on. It's like 3 months later, we heard about, Ukraine is going to go to war with Russia, right? It's like, what? Now they're starting wars in order to hide this, right? Now I know, like that's just me in my head. It's like, what? Epiphany. Epiphany. I can't even say it. Thank you, Monster Buddy. 23. Epiphany. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. I'm gonna check out Moran's Connect the Dot. Can't wait. And thank you for joining, Morans. I appreciate you. I will let you go. Thank you again. Bye.